Hello, welcome to Introduction to Java Programming. In this session, we learn about char set. So char set is one of the basic programming constructs of Java. Let's understand. So in the previous session, we have understood what are the basic building blocks of Java. In fact, not just Java, for any language, we need to have a char set which defines what are all allowed in a programming language, then identifiers, then operators, then control statements, etc. Let's now understand char set in a detailed way. Char set is nothing but the character set. The character set which is allowed in the programming language. Now we are discussing about Java. So what all characters are allowed in the Java is defined by the char set. And Java's char set is of 16 bits. So you have 16 bits means you will have 2 to the power of 16 characters possible, which is equal to 65,536. So that means in Java language, you can have 65,536 characters. If you wish, you can actually make your Java program in any of the language of any country. All the world languages, natural languages can be actually included in Java programming because it has very huge character set. And this character set is actually called Unicode char set. Unicode stands for Universal Code char set. The index starts from 0 and it goes up to 65,535. That means index 0 represents something and 65,535 represents something. So in fact, if you see 65, index 65 represents A, then 66 will be capital B until so on 90 will be capital Z. In the same fashion, 97, index 97 actually represents small a and 122 represents small z. In the same fashion, so 48 represents a 0 and then 0 to 9, right? So 57 will be representing for us 9 actually. Okay, so these are Unicode values and the corresponding characters, right? So in this fashion, we can actually have as many characters as possible in Java because it has a very huge char set. Now coming to other programming languages, for example, if you speak of a C language, okay, so C's char set is actually of 8-bit, so you will have total 256 characters, but C uses ASCII set. What is ASCII? American Standard Code for Information Interchange. That is a standard char set and which is a 7-bit code actually. So with 7 bits, you can actually have 2 power 7, that is 128 characters. And the index starts from 0 to 127. And interestingly, ASCII is included or preserved in the Unicode. That means whatever the ASCII codes are there, they are preserved in the Unicode. So that means 65 is capital A in ASCII. The same is actually preserved in Unicode. So that means 0 to 127, whatever all the characters are there, they're all preserved actually here in the Unicode. So if you know ASCII value for a particular character, the same thing will be there in the Unicode also. Okay, so let's actually understand the characters of this ASCII or Unicode with an example. Yeah, so here I have put some other information. So if we speak of the ASCII of 127 characters, 128 characters. So the category or the classification was like this. So we have capital A to Z and small a to Z, total constitute 52 characters. And then we have 0 to 9, which are 10 numbers. So there are total 62. So out of 128, 62 occupied by alphabets and numbers, and then next 66 actually, right? Next 66 are special characters or special symbols. Out of those special symbols, there are 32 printable characters like our operators, arithmetic operators, logical, bitwise, semicolon, dot, okay, brackets, square brackets, curly brackets, parentheses, all constitute to 32, and there are non-printable 34 non-printable characters. Hold together, it becomes actually 128, and the same thing is actually preserved in the Unicode. So, in fact, to write a program in any of the languages, we will be using this 128 characters only. That means it is enough actually to write any program in any programming language. You don't require more characters, but the languages have the capability to include other characters also. Java has more capability because its scarcity is of 65,536 characters. So if you see a C language, then it has only 8 bits, so it has the capability of having only 256 characters. But these programming languages usually use ASCII set for writing um, the programs, and those 128 characters are more than enough actually to make a program. So usually we write programs in our English language, so this is actually enough. If you wish, a Java program can be written in your mother tongue also, because it has that much capability to have those characters. Now let's write a program to print the corresponding Unicode or ASCII values of the characters. Okay, so I told 65 is small a, 90 is, 65 is capital A and 90 is capital Z. Let's actually print those ASCII values. So how do we do that? So now I have a class called public class ASCII. I just named as ASCII. Otherwise, I can name this as Unicode also, because all the ASCII are there in the Unicode. So let's not confuse. So now I will have my main method here, the public static void main, and in this I'm going to write a program to print capital case letters. So how do I print actually? So I am taking a for loop for int I equal to 0, not 0 actually, because capital A starts from 65, and I less than or equal to 90, because 90 is my capital Z, and I increment by 1. So 65, 66, 67 until so on 90. And what I do is each I value I am going to print. If I print I value, it 65 is going to get printed. But what I'm doing, I am explicitly typecasting my int I to a character. So how do you do explicit typecast in Java? Char of I. That's it. Char of I. So after printing the character, I just want to give some space actually, so that each character is separated by a space, and I'm not using print ln, I'm just using print. So what is the difference between print and print ln? Print just prints it. Print ln, after printing, it actually prints a new line. Print ln, that means print line. It prints whatever the value you are printing, and later it prints a line also. Print just prints actually. So now the output you can see horizontal way. So now I'm actually printing 65 characters, 65 to 90. That means 26 characters I'm printing. So all the 26 you can actually see in a horizontal way, in a row. Otherwise, if you use println, it will be vertical actually. So I will have 26 rows. So now let's see how the output is going to come. Now let me compile. So Java C ASCII.java. Yeah, compiled successfully. And when I say Java ASCII, Java space ASCII, now you can actually see here A to Z are getting printed in capital case. A to Z are getting printed in the capital case. So immediately after that, my command prompt is coming. So in order to eliminate this, what I do is, once my for loop is done, My for loop is over, I can actually write one more println statement actually here. See, in the for loop, I have only one statement, so I'm not keeping as a block here. If you wish, you can actually make as a block also. But when a loop is having only one line, you need not to keep that as a block. Okay, now let's see. The output actually will be in a clear way now. Now let me compile this, compiled successfully, and when I run, now you can actually see A to Z are getting printed, right? So capital A is 65, right? So the Unicode or ASCII value of capital A is 65 and the capital Z is 90. So in the same fashion, I can actually print smaller case alphabets also. So I equal to 97 and I less than or equal to 122, just print it. So 97 is small a and 122 is small z. Now let me actually compile and show you that the smaller case letters are getting printed. You can actually see small a to small z. Okay, so these are all things one has to remember. What is the Unicode value of a small a? Unicode value of a capital A, something like that. Okay, so yeah, so when I'm giving actually the breakup, so I'm telling small a to z, capital A to z, and then 0 to 9, and which are actually starting at which are 0 to 9 are starting from 48 and going up to 57. Let's see that also, and later we will actually discuss about this printable and non-printable characters. So let me now print the numbers actually. So I say I equal to 48 and I'm going up to 57, and now I want to print the characters of these Unicode values 48 to 57. Let's see. Compilation is successful, and let me clear the screen and let me run actually. Now you can see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right? And yeah, so this is about alphabets and numbers. Now let me actually start from 0. I equal to 0 and I less than or equal to 127. So now I want to print all the ASCII values. All the ASCII values. Okay, not just one space. I'm giving two spaces so that yeah, 1, 2, 3 spaces I am giving so that all these values will be easy to identify. Let's now see. So I'm printing all the ASCII set, which is actually part of Unicode now. So total 128 characters are going to come now. Let's see. Compilation is successful. And when I say Java space ASCII, now you can actually see I am printing uh, all 128 characters, but you can actually see only few things are coming up here, right? So I told you, right, how many printable are there? So 52 plus 10, all these are printable. 62 plus 32 actually, right? So 62 plus 30, that is 92 plus 2, 94. So 94 printable characters are there. Of course, you can count, these will actually equate to 94. So from here to here, you can actually find 94 printable characters, and there are 34 non-printable characters. So the first 34 are actually not getting printed because they are non-printable characters. Okay, so what I do is, in order to make you to understand this better, I actually also print the value. So I will print the I value plus, and here I just give you its equivalent character. The I value 0 will get printed and its equivalent character. Now I'm actually using a pointer, and then plus, which is actually followed by this particular char. Yeah. So what I'm doing here, so first I value will get printed. Let's say 0 will get printed. Yeah, so this is how it is going to get printed. 0 is get printed. Then we have this arrow mark is getting printed, and its equivalent value. Of course, 0 is non-printable. You will not get anything. So after that, there is a space. Okay, so then actually what happens? 1 will get printed, and its equivalent value is going to get printed. Of course, that is also non-printable. So first 32, you will not see any value that is getting printed. Now let's see actually how the output is going to come. Yeah, so I'm compiling. So compilation was successful, and when I run, you can actually see the values here. Actually, see here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, until 32. Until 32. All are non-printable characters. You are not able to see any character that got printed, right? So first 32 means 0 to 32, 33 characters. And one more you can see at the end, this particular 127 is there now. This 127 is also not getting printed, right? So total 34 non-printable characters. So out of 128, 34 are non-printable characters. Then how many you are left with? So there are 94 actually. So there are 94 printable characters. So the first character that is getting printed is apostrophe. Okay, so then you will have actually double quotes, then hash, and the last character that is getting printed is negation. Okay, the tilde operator. So this is how we can actually know about all the characters which we use in writing a program. Not just Java, any programming language uses these characters only. Okay, so now we understood that till 32 there are non-printable characters. So I will start from 33 actually, because from 33 onward we have printable characters. So 33 to 126, 127 is again non-printable characters. So what it does is we are eliminating non-printable characters. Non-printable characters, how many? So this 34 non-printable characters I am eliminating. So I am starting from 33 and going up to 126, that is I less than 127. All printable characters now we can actually see. Let's see. Yeah, so compilation was successful, and when I print actually, so these are all printable characters. So these are all printable characters. See, 33, 34, 35 until so on, and we are actually getting up to 126, that is tilde operator. Okay, so one should have a proper knowledge of all these things actually. So this is about the char set. Yeah, so a few points to remember is Java's char set is very big, and it is 16-bit one, so you will have 65,536 characters, and this is called Unicode char set. And Unicode char set includes ASCII in it. ASCII is a 7-bit code which is having 128 characters. In fact, these 128 characters are enough to write programs, and we usually use these 128 characters only to write our programs, because these 128 has English alphabets, both in capital and lowercase numbers, and we have all the special symbols which are required actually, right? All the operators which are there, and dot, semicolon, comma, everything is available. So with this we can actually make up our programs. So this is about the char set in Java. Hope you have understood, and we will meet in the next session with the next basic building programming constructs such as identifiers. Thank you.